Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our LionSide Chat. We're going to get started in about a minute. Give our audience time to get populated here. Good evening. We will get started in about 30 seconds or so. Just waiting for all of our participants to populate. All right, good evening. Welcome to Penn State Berks LionSide Chats Majorly Prepared series. This is the inaugural event in our Majorly Prepared series this spring, and we are excited to have you. So come on in and welcome to our campus. We're glad that you can join us tonight. My name is Dawn Pfeiffer-Wrights, and I'm one of the 3 LionSide Chat moderators working alongside Ryan Hassler and Sonia De La Cueto. And before we get started, we wanted to share that we hope that you feel free to submit questions throughout the program through our question and answer feature. We will not be utilizing the raise hand feature, however. We will also not be taking questions until the end of the presentation, but once the presentation concludes, we will facilitate the Q&A with our majorly prepared session facilitators who you see with me tonight. We are also recording today's session, so you can revisit this topic or even share this experience with friends and family and others that might be interested. So I'm excited to introduce Dr. Erin Johnson, who will be speaking on the topic of careers in social sciences alongside the other presenters that are here with us tonight. So Dr. Johnson, I welcome you to our LionSide Chat this evening, and I will allow you to take it away. I'm here if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the hard work from the LionSide Chat crew who is working behind the scenes. So welcome everybody to this evening. This evening we are going to be focusing on the social sciences and education majors that we are offering here at Penn State Berks, and also some information about careers and career planning. We do have some students with us this evening who are going to speak about their experiences in the major at Berks, just to help to provide a little bit more examples from the people who know it best, and that is in fact the students. So I'm actually going to start. So again, I'm Dr. Johnson. I'm the program chair for the psychology programs. We have a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology here at Penn State Berks. I'm also the program chair for the Rehabilitation and Human Services major, which I will be speaking about as well. But to start with, I would like to just share our actually brand new website. If I could just pull it up here for the BA and BS in psychology. We're very happy that we're able to offer this. We have always had a psychology major at Penn State Berks, but we were limited in terms of just being able to offer a Bachelor of Arts. Now we've actually expanded our course offerings and are able to have both the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Arts majors at Berks. So a little bit about psychology, if you're not familiar with the study. Psychology is really the study of individual behavior, thought, and experiences. Now, most of the time when you think about psychology, you think about clinical psychology and mental health professionals like myself. However, there are a variety of other career paths and options if you major in psychology. In our department alone, we have faculty who specialize in areas of cognitive psychology, family and developmental studies psychology, social and forensic psychology, and also geriatric psychology. So we offer a very broad base of courses that hit a variety of different topic areas. So of course, the clinical abnormal part is a part of the degree, but we also have many different offerings in social and personality psychology, cognitive and learning psychology, forensic psychology, and biological basis of psychology. So another big question that comes up a lot is the differences between a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts degree. We do have a lot of information on our brand new website about the differences between the two, but just very quickly, a Bachelor of Arts degree is really more focused on the psychology content. It also includes a very strong liberal arts foundation, including a language requirement. The Bachelor of Science degree is more focused on either science or business, depending upon what the student's interests are. And so with the Bachelor of Science degree, students are required to complete at least 18 additional credits in either sciences or business to round out their experiences. Now, one of the really fantastic parts about our program is the emphasis on internships and research. Tonight, I actually have with me, and I'll stop sharing. Tonight, I have with me a student, Ashton Anthony, who is a junior student in our program, in our psychology program at Penn State Berks. And Ashton is going to talk a little bit about her experiences with internship and with research, as well as give you a little bit of a sample about coursework.
Hi, everybody. As Dr. Johnson just said, my name is Ashton Anthony, and I am a junior here at Penn State Berks in applied psychology. So a little bit about my experience with internships. We'll start with that, and then I'll move to research. Internships, because I started last year, they have primarily been online, but regardless if it's an online internship or an in-person internship, it is all very beneficial and helpful and kind of like rounds out your experience as a psych major. It is very, so it's just helpful. And then as for research, again, I'm in COVID right now, obviously, and a lot of the research we have to do right now is online as well. So my experience has been online, but I've also had friends and other people in the psych major who have had everything in person, and they said that there's not much of a difference, and like regardless, it's a beneficial program to be in. One thing I will say is that the psychology major in whole is what you make of it, and you are kind of in charge of your education and your experiences, and they'll only be as good as you want it to be. That meaning you can 100% earn your degree by just doing the work and getting an A, but you are exposed to so many helpful professors within this major. So we have, as Dr. Johnson said, so many professors at major have like specialties in different areas that like, if you have a question, you go to them. And if you want to know more about what they do, or you need help with research, or you want an independent study, or you have questions that pertain to something that they specialize in, you can ask them. So take advantage of the opportunities that you were given at Berks and don't kind of just cruise through it, especially in the psychology major when you have so many opportunities given to you pretty much. Like, take advantage of that. And if that's not, I guess, motivated enough, you are paying a good amount of money to be here, to go here. So that enough should be motivating to you to want to do more than just kind of cruise by and get that A. Like, get the A, by all means, get that A, but do everything you can to make the experience at what you want it to be. Thank you.
That's great, Ashton. Thank you very much. So just following up on some things. One of the unique parts about our program, we have several unique parts, but one of the things that I think Ashton will agree that makes us very, very special is the fact that the faculty are so involved with our students. Because we have smaller class sizes here at Penn State Berks, we are actually able to not only know our students, but help them with their career paths and their research interests. So this semester, Ashton is actually working on her own independent research project under the direction of a faculty member. Things like this, these special little experiences is what sets us apart in terms of coming to Penn State Berks. So again, the psychology majors, the emphasis, one of the major emphasis is on getting practical experience. So either community-based internships, research experience, whether that's with a faculty member or independently, and then also our senior capstone experience, which students who have completed that have said time and time again how helpful it was in terms of developing and identifying career goals, career paths, developing professionalism skills, and really learning how to market themselves after they graduate. So I'm going to move next on to talking about the Rehabilitation and Human Services major, which is a mouthful. But the Rehabilitation and Human Services major really focuses on advocacy and helping people in a variety of different settings who have a disability, all kinds of different disabilities, in terms of helping them to live their best life. Part of the Rehabilitation and Human Services major, what's different from psychology, is that the focus is on learning practical skills. So I'm actually going to pull up the website for that as well, just to go through a few things with you. So this is actually from the bulletin. But this has a variety of different information, including program requirements, academic advising, and the suggested academic plan. I did want to just pull up the suggested academic plan for a minute, just to highlight some of the classes. So in psychology, we tend to have a lot of very theoretical based courses. In the Rehabilitation and Human Services major, on the other hand, we have classes that are specifically hands-on and skill-based. So classes such as client assessment, classes such as case management and communication skills, classes including group work. All of these are very hands-on courses in which you're actually learning how to do these very, very valuable skills. One of the really great aspects of the RHS program, just like psychology, is the emphasis on internships. So the last semester, all of our students who are in the RHS program complete a full-time 600-hour, 15-credit internship, which seems like an awful lot, but all of the students who have gone through the program and have graduated have come back and commented on how vital that last semester was, again, in terms of career planning and developing all of those skills that they need to be a professional. So I do have an RHS student with me this evening who I'm very happy was able to join us. Esther Ramos is here to talk about her experiences in the RHS major. And because she is just now starting her internship, she can talk to you a little bit about what she's going to be doing. And she's expected to graduate in May. So Esther, if you just wanted to share a little bit of your experiences, that would be wonderful.
Well, hi, everyone. As Dr. Johnson said, my name is Esther Ramos, and I am a senior right now. I was in the same boat as maybe most of you are right now, where I was undecided, and then I started taking rehab and human services major, and it was the atmosphere in the classroom was nothing like I've ever felt before. It was very comfortable. It felt very interactive, just like what Dr. Johnson said. And that's really what pushed me to move forward with this major. And as I continued, I saw how hands-on things were in the classroom, and that really prepared me for internship. As Dr. Johnson stated, right now I'm doing a part-time internship with research with Dr. Murphy and then also with the hospital. So everything I've learned in the classroom has really been starting to interpret into internship time. And that was such a relief because, you know, as Dr. Johnson said, it's a 600-hour internship and that might freak you out, but the growth in the experience that you'll gain for that, it will change your academic life and especially your resume. Because I know how things difficult are right now with life and everything, but it's such a diverse major that you can go from maybe your focus is PT or social services or child services. There's just so much careers that you can pick from, and the chance that we have to explore those in the classroom, I just think it's like incredible. So I totally advocate for this major, clearly. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. And thank you so much, Dr. Johnson, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for sharing. It's very, very important, I think, that prospective students hear from current students and really get a good understanding as to what the programs are. So just to highlight some things that, that Esther had said, that yes, all of the RHS classes, they are very skill-based, very hands-on. And so if that's something that you're looking for, if you're interested in the helping profession, in any sense, and you learn more through doing, and that you are really excited to get in and start helping someone, the RHS major is definitely something to explore for you. I did also just want to make sure, another question that I get a lot is, because we have such a big emphasis on internships, a question is always, do you have help, or where do we find these internships? And the answer is there's an enormous amount of help between the faculty in both programs, but we also have an outstanding career services department who works tirelessly to help our students find not only an internship, but the internship that they want in the area that they want in order to get the skills that they need in order to move on after graduation. So there is a lot of help on our campus. So I know that we're holding questions till the end, but certainly if you have questions for myself, for Esther, or for Ashton, we'll be happy to answer them at the end. I am going to turn it over now to Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy is the program chair for the criminal justice programs here at Berks.
Thank you, Erin. Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Jennifer Murphy. Like Erin said, I'm the program chair for criminal justice. I have a little slide here. I am just going to go through to talk a little bit about our program. So criminal justice at Penn State Berks. We are a popular major. We are just about to graduate a group of students in our 5th year. So we've been in existence for about 5 years here at Penn State Berks. So we're one of the newer majors on campus, but we definitely have been one of the faster growing ones as well. In addition to that, we do offer a minor. So if you come and you're studying something else, you can definitely minor in criminal justice as an option. So Dr. Johnson mentioned a little bit about different options as far as Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts. In our major, you have a choice if you want to go a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts option. And one of the key differences between those is that there is a foreign language requirement for the Bachelor of Arts option. And that is, it could be in some additional coursework if you took a foreign language in high school, or it could be starting a new foreign language when you get to college. The Bachelor of Science does not have that same foreign language requirement and has some additional opportunities to explore areas to take more courses in, depending on what your professional goals are. So a lot of our students, related to what Dr. Johnson was saying, a lot of our students minor in psychology. So those students might opt for a Bachelor of Science and do a minor in psychology, and those psychology courses that they're doing as part of the minor will end up also counting toward that Bachelor of Science requirement. We like to see ourselves as preparing our students for a wide variety of careers. Criminal justice field is very big. There are a lot of different areas. Some of our students are interested in law enforcement, some are interested in probation, some are interested in doing more social service, case management kind of work in the future. So we like to see ourselves as providing a strong groundwork for a whole lot of different careers. And there are a lot of different careers. Sometimes people hear that someone's majoring in criminal justice and they just think, oh, that person wants to be a police officer. There are so many more careers than just going into law enforcement. There are all kinds of things related to criminal justice. There's doing research in criminal justice. There's working for advocacy organizations who are doing kinds of reform work in criminal justice. So there are lots of different opportunities And we like to give our students, in addition to the groundwork in developing skills to work in those professions, also the exposure to a lot of different possible career paths. So part of that is an emphasis on critical thinking, writing, and speaking. One of the things that we hear from people actually working in the field is we want people who can think on their feet. We want people who can be problem solvers. We want people who can look at situations and have something to say about it, have something that they can actually analyze and think about. So we do think it's very important to prepare students to be critical thinkers and to be good writers and to be good speakers. These are all components of all of the different professions that one could go into in majoring in criminal justice. Some of our students want to go on to graduate school or law school, and this is a great major to also be able to do those things. So we prepare our students for going on to master's or PhD programs in criminology, criminal justice, and related fields. Some of our students want to go on to law school, so we give them the opportunities to prepare for that as well. One of the things that I think is really special about our program is that we have faculty who are both ones who have been involved working in the system and also then academic, ones who have been more academically prepared. So one of our full-time faculty, for instance, is a retired FBI agent. She worked for 25 years with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And now she's a full-time faculty member in our program. We have adjunct faculty who are currently working in criminal justice, in juvenile justice, in law enforcement, in corrections. So we have students are able to meet and have faculty who are actually currently working in the field or who have had significant experience working in the field, in addition to the more traditionally academic prepared faculty. Dr. Johnson was talking about internships for her programs, and we also have a required internship. Students typically do it during their senior year. Some might do it the summer before, or maybe into their junior year. You have the opportunity to do multiple internships if you like. And like Dr. Johnson was saying, we offer a lot of resources to get students prepared to do those internships. We have an entire course that you take called Intro to Internship that you take before you do the internship. So you learn how to prepare your resume, how to prepare a cover letter. There are lots of guest speakers from different agencies to talk about internship opportunities. So you have a chance to really do some research and think about where do you want to go so that you can have the best internship experience possible. Obviously, that's been more limited with COVID-19 and the restrictions of doing in-person internships. But we've still had some great internship opportunities even through that, where students have been able to do virtual internships in agencies that even maybe they wouldn't typically have been able to do. We have a great connection with the community around us. One of the draws to coming to Penn State Berks, like Dr. Johnson was saying, overall is that you have smaller classes and you just have more interaction with your faculty, and your faculty really get to know you and get to know what your goals are as a student and what you want to do after you graduate. In addition to that, we have great connections with the community, and we really have opportunities to put students in contact with those community partners. Every year we have a career day on campus where about 25 professionals in the criminal justice field come to campus for an all-day event that our students attend multiple panel sessions, go to a career fair related to the positions there, and meet with people actually working in these different professions. And in addition to that, we have guest speakers throughout the year, some tied to particular courses, others we have an active criminal justice club. Those students will invite speakers. So we have a lot of people from the community coming to campus and really interacting with our students and having those networking opportunities and just having that opportunity to learn about what it is like working in the field.
In addition to that, we have other kinds of unique educational experiences. We do a lot of field trips. Again, a little bit curbed with COVID, but all of our classes have integrated field trips as part of the classroom experience. We have visited local jails and prisons. We have a course on the history of the FBI where the professor takes students all day to a local FBI academy. We have had visits to Washington, D.C. to go to various criminal justice and law related sites there. So we have had that opportunity when we're able to do those things. One of the nice things about Berks. We also have had international learning experiences. I took a group of students, not last spring break, but 2 years ago, to the Netherlands over our spring break to look at how drug policy and drug laws work in the Netherlands. My own teaching and research has to do with drug policy and the integration of drug treatment with criminal case processing. So I was able to bring a group of students to the Netherlands to see how they think about drug problems and the things that they are doing to deal with them. So that was just an incredible experience that at other campuses, you just wouldn't have those kinds of opportunities. So I'm going to now introduce one of our students. Sal DeFeo is here, and he's going to speak a little bit about how the criminal justice major has just helped him in thinking about his future career goals.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Like she said, my name is Sal DeFeo, and I'm actually a double major in criminal justice and communication arts and sciences, but today I'll be focusing on criminal justice. And like she said, the program has just provided me with so many opportunities to learn and explore my interests, and just prepare me for after I graduate. So after I graduate, I do plan on going to law school. And like she mentioned, all of the professors in the program have real life experience, whether currently or in the past. And they've been a great resource for getting internships. Right now, I'm in the process of finding an internship for the summer, but like all of the faculty, they have the real life experience, which is great to hear about in class, in addition to what we're learning in the textbooks, but also they have networks that we can take advantage of through them personally, but also through the career fairs that she talked about. So that's a great resource for us and a great opportunity for us. And they also, like she mentioned, they bring in speakers that they know personally, and you get that connection and you can ask questions that you might not be able to Google or find on a website. So that's another great opportunity. I know I personally have met many people that I would not have met if I wasn't in this program. And I also had another opportunity that when I came to college, I did not expect to participate in undergraduate research, but I had the opportunity that was mentioned earlier, I think by Dr. Johnson, that our class sizes are so small, you get that personal connection with the professors and the faculty that I had taken some criminal justice classes with Dr. Stringer, and she was like, "Oh, you're really engaged in this class. You seem really interested. I would like you to help me on this research project I'm working on." And I would not have had that opportunity if I went to a large school and I was in a lecture hall with 400 other students. So I've been working on a research project with her for almost a year, actually. And I never saw myself doing that. That wasn't a goal that I had, but that door was open for me, so I took it. So that's another great thing about this program is it opens doors that you didn't even think about. Um, and I do think it really is preparing me in the best way that it can for anything else that I want to do um, in my career. And to go to law school, like she said, we learn all about the different types of criminal justice fields because it's not just policing, which a lot of people think. So you take classes and learn about the different fields, and you take classes about gender and the criminal justice system and race in the criminal justice system, and you learn all of the different aspects. And it really is a well-rounded program that really prepares you for anything that you want to do after you graduate. I'll pass it back to Dr. Murphy.
Thank you, Sal. That was great. So like Dr. Johnson said, we're here to answer questions after Dr. Lee presents on the education program. And I'll just turn it over to her.
Hi, okay, my turn. I'm not going to say anything out of the ordinary that hasn't already been said. We have an exceptional program in the elementary and early childhood ed program. My name is Janie Lay. I am an associate professor of special education at Penn State Berks, and I'm delighted and thrilled to be there. I wouldn't be any other place in the world because the program is just so exceptional. I'd like to show you a few things that make our program extremely exceptional. And I will go into depth about the things that we do and why we do them. So our program intends to prepare elementary and early childhood educators to be reflective and informed candidates, to be able to teach in diverse settings in all content areas in pre-K through 4. Some of the features of our program, apart from the wonderful classes that we have in store for our students, the way that our program is set aside from other programs is we can offer a year-long student teaching placement in an urban setting. So as early as the fall semester of your senior year, you're placed in a classroom in an urban setting with a mentor teacher, and you begin to know the children inside and out from day one as you welcome them into the classrooms. You're there on a Tuesday and Thursday, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're learning your content areas in social studies, science, and mathematics. In other words, how to teach these very young children. Then in your spring semester, you're in that placement all day long. But by the time spring rolls around, you're an old hat. You feel very comfortable in the classroom. The children know you very, very well, and you know them very well. We hand select our mentor teachers. They are of the highest quality. Another piece that makes our program so exceptional is we put our students into multiple placements each semester prior to their senior year so that the students can develop robust knowledge and multiple and diverse settings. So many settings as early as your freshman year, you are in the classrooms working with children. And again, this is intentionally designed so that by the time you reach your senior year, you're extremely comfortable being in those settings with the children. So you no longer have to worry about getting acquainted with the placement, but you are ready to go and implement all of the strategies that you've learned throughout your 4 years. We also offer service learning opportunities in science and literacy workshops. So for example, that can happen in the classrooms where you travel to the schools and you work one-on-one and in small groups with the children and teaching them science and literacy, but also we invite children from the Reading School District on campus. So there are at times over 100 elementary school children wandering around our Berks campus, and our elementary educators are with them, and our students are pairing and teaming with the elementary educators and the children to learn one-on-one and hands-on what it means to go on a field trip. We also offer an opportunity for students to teach in Germany. So it would be a student teaching program, but also you may decide to travel to Germany with me and a group of your peers, a group of students from Penn State Berks, and we travel throughout Germany and we visit multiple schools, elementary schools and kindergartens, and we talk with the teachers, we talk with the administrators there in those schools and work with the children there. And it's designed so that you can understand that teaching the US way is not the only way to teach. We encourage our students to create their own strategies, their own practices when it comes to teaching. Your pedagogy is going to come from you, not from a curriculum. And so we offer opportunities where you can be out in the field and learning incredibly different ways. We also offer an opportunity to travel to support children who've experienced trauma and loss through a program called Camp Noah. And our students travel as a team, and we travel to a site that has been devastated through trauma and loss. And for 1 week in the summer, we stay at that site and we distribute a curriculum to those children to help them heal. We help them gain skills toward resiliency, and we help those children throughout each day to heal little by little so that they can develop skills that they'll carry with them throughout their lives. And we also place students with children of migrant status in the Reading School District. Again, this is designed to help our students hone their skills on working with children who are extremely diverse in emotional, psychological, but also academic ways. And so that placement with the children of migrant status is designed to help our students understand how to implement interventions working with children who may be English language learners. And we also enjoy a partnership with the Reading School District. And so we're able to have this rare and unique opportunity to place our students in many of the Reading school districts. And so children learn from our pre-service teachers, but also our pre-service teachers have the opportunity to learn from our children. I have some photos. And I think I'm going to have to. There we go. It's a matter of clicking in the right spot. Here are some photos that are going to help give you or visualize, help you to visualize some of the experiences. So student teaching in Germany, those are some of our student teachers. They worked with children in first grade, second grade, third grade, and they taught children English. They taught children mathematics. They had a wonderful time. And in the next photo, you can see that there is one of our students working with the children in the Reading School District as part of one of those special literacy events. That was an after-school program, and the room, you can't tell, was crowded with children, and they moved throughout centers. And so there's the Neuschwanstein Castle, but then the next photo, you'll see that there are more children and another one of our pre-service teachers working very closely with the children. You can see our group that traveled to Germany one of the years and posing and having a wonderful time. And then the bottom photo with the parachute is a photo from Camp Noah. So through many activities that happened throughout that week, and playing and working with the parachute is just one way to help children to become more comfortable with the environment in the world in which they live. And it's our job as a Camp Noah team, a Penn State Berks Camp Noah team, to help that happen. We can offer some core courses towards your certification and your graduation in the 4 years that you're at Penn State Berks. But as you've heard before, we're a very small campus, we're a very small program, and so we enjoy the unique opportunity of working with students in very close settings. And because of that, we are able to design some very unique classes. And you did hear about some of the unique classes. And one that we can offer students in education is happening this semester, where we're helping our students to understand how to work with children of trauma that they will see in their future classrooms, unfortunately, because of COVID. Trauma happens in many and multiple ways, but we are 100% guaranteed that children across the globe are going to be traumatized by COVID. And so it's our goal to prepare our pre-service teachers as best we can for those circumstances that will face them in the coming years. Yes, and again, I will be more than happy to answer any questions if you have any. And I'll turn it back over to Dawn.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Johnson, did you want to comment at all about the video, or would you like me to play that?
Yeah, so the last thing that we have this evening is a video from two of our colleagues that's going to talk about the social justice certificate that we have here at Penn State Berks. Again, it's, as you've heard all evening, Penn State Berks is a very special place. And this is one of those things that was in response, created in response to a lot of the injustice that is happening in the world, but specifically in the United States. And so we have two colleagues on video that will just talk a little bit about the certificate program.
All right, and then when we are done with the video, we will turn it back to you, Dr. Johnson, and then start question and answer.
Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Justin DeCenso. I'm Assistant Teaching Professor of English and African American Studies at Penn State Berks.
And hello, I am Dr. Jessica Shocker, Associate Professor of Social Studies, Education, and Women's Studies at Penn State Berks.
We want to briefly give you a sense of what is one of Berks' strengths, which is working in the avenue of social justice and racial justice. And we here at Berks have something called a social justice certificate, which is unique to our campus throughout the Commonwealth. So we wanted to show you the website, give you a quick little info, some tidbits, and then contact info, and then you can go enjoy your day. So this is berks.psu.edu/certificate-social-justice. Pretty good. And this is the main page. This explains what the certificate is, what it's about, some of the background. It lays out the particular faculty involved in this social justice certificate. And of course, we can go on about what social justice means and so on and so forth. But one of the most amazing things at working at Berks for myself and for Dr. Shocker is we work with a really diverse array of folks who have different intellectual interests when it comes to disability studies, comes to communications, reproductive rights, environmental justice. For me, I do policing, so on and so forth, race, gender. So one thing at Berks you'll see is this social justice collaborative harnesses the group strengths of us as a campus, particularly when it comes to issues of justice and injustice in our society.
So really, we would say that the certificate is good for anyone enrolled at Penn State Berks, but especially I would say that if you are interested in social justice in any of the ways that my colleague just mentioned, and maybe you've taken one class about social justice and then you think, oh, I really would like to learn more about this. I want to go into this with a different professor in a different discipline. So this is just an opportunity for you to find which classes would go together and give you, a more robust background on issues related to social justice.
So just a little bit of context. We've been working on this, and we've been doing this for all of us collectively in the Social Justice Collaborative for quite some time. So this is not a flavor of the month certificate. This is something that we as a campus at Berks have been working on for at least 2 decades collectively. And so this stuff is very well thought out. It was crowdsourced from everyone in our collaborative. And here are the requirements and the assessment. One last thing, one of the most exciting parts of this certificate is that it empowers you to identify a particular project that you want to see through. And that's the capstone certificate project. You could do something in the city of Reading. You could do a more scholarly literature review. You could do a creative project, a digital media project. It is really wide open as long as it fulfills the requirements of the, as long as it meets the objectives of the certificate.
So to recap really quick, could you scroll back to the menu, the certificate menu of courses? There's a list here of courses. We want you to choose 4 of these. If courses are not listed or you want to do an independent study, all you have to do is talk to us as certificate heads to see whether or not we can make an approval of a class that's not on the menu, because there is probably a class that we missed, or there could be a new class that comes up. So we're certainly flexible. As of right now, we're requiring all students to take SOC 205N as one of those 4 courses. Again, this is something that we could talk about on a case-by-case basis. If a student was not able to take that class before graduating, it may not be offered next school year 2021 to 2022. So in that case, we might have to grant an exception, though we do expect it to be offered in the future after that. And yeah, so it's 4 classes plus your capstone project, which is totally open and you know, could be with any one of the faculty members that you'd like to work with.
So thanks for watching. Of course, we could share so much more. We want to invite you to contact us. Here's my email here, jxd367@psu. That's my office phone. And here is my dear colleague, Dr. Shaker, jbs213@psu. Of course, COVID throws a wrench into all of these sorts of things, and it kind of put a lot of this just kind of on temporary pause. But as we look forward to the fall and for the rest of this semester in spring 21, we hope to really roll out the certificate and see more graduates take this on. So we hope this was informative, and we are here to answer any and all questions. And if you're thinking about choosing Berks, it's a great home to do this sort of work and to really deepen your intellectual chops when it comes to working with justice in your community, however you see.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Johnson, do you have any final closing comments before we start with our Q&A?
No, I don't think so. We can just jump into questions.
All right. Well, I wanted to say thank you to all of our presenters, and especially thank you to all of our student presenters, because that having students communicate the intensity and the amazingness of our programs, I think is the best selling point out there. So I'm going to bring in our first question here. Someone asked, would you be able to speak more in detail on the specific internships that the students are taking part in? And I think that question came up when Dr. Johnson was speaking, although all of you can address that if you want to. So, Erin?
Sure. So I have actually been coordinating the internships for psychology for the past 8 years and RHS for the past 4 years. So I have actually personally supervised over 50,000 hours, internship hours. And so the list is quite long and extensive, but I did see the question. And so I just jotted down a whole bunch of just sample places that students have interned. So nursing homes, specifically in memory care units, hospice facilities, working with bereavement counselors and social workers, animal assisted therapy. There's a lot of students who have, a lot of interest in working with service dogs, learning how to train service dogs and how to place service dogs. Last semester, we had a rehabilitation and human services major do a full-time internship at an equine or horse therapy center in Philadelphia. So there's actually a lot of those sites. Interns go to partial hospitalization programs for people who have severe mental illness, which is sort of a more intensive day treatment program. Group therapy centers, of course, outpatient counseling centers, outpatient neuropsychology centers to observe and learn how to do neuropsych assessments. Inpatient hospitalizations for children, specifically who have mental illness. Addiction centers, inpatient and outpatient addiction centers, and also other kinds of outpatient counseling once people are through inpatient treatment. And then we also have a whole area, especially for psychology, of students who are interested in business. So we have a lot of students who have done internships with human resources departments and also business recruiting. We also have students who are very interested in neuropsychology, and so they've done internships at traumatic brain injury rehabilitation centers. This semester, we have a whole bunch of students doing RHS internships. We have a student who is working at WellSpan which if you're from the Lancaster County area, you know what WellSpan is, but they're specifically doing an after-school program for children who have some behavioral issues. We have students who are working in a juvenile detention facility for students who have been charged with serious crime. We have students who are working, like I said, at an inpatient child hospital program. We have a student who's very interested in physical therapy and occupational therapy, and so they're doing an internship at a treatment facility, TheraPlay, which is a national organization. Esther is doing 2 different internships. As she had said before, she's going to be working for Tower Health. And that's actually a grant-funded internship that helps to connect people who come to the hospital with community resources that they may not have known about before. And then she's also going to be doing research with Dr. Murphy. So I think that that's a good sampling, at least for psych and for RHS. I know that sometimes there is some crossover, like some of our psych students sometimes do internships that are related to criminal justice, like working in probation and parole offices, or release programs, for people after they are released from prison. And we also do have a lot of students who double major psychology and criminal justice. So Dr. Murphy, if you could hit some of the other internships for criminal justice students.
Sure. Yeah, our students, I like to see the internship opportunity as a chance to really get some experience in something that you think you might want to pursue later. So we really try to get students to think about those possibilities. So we have had students intern with local law enforcement, with county probation, with juvenile probation, with local courts, with FBI, with other federal agencies, with other organizations in Berks County. There's an organization called Berks Connections Pretrial Services. They do a lot of reentry work for people once they're leaving prison and getting reintegrated into the community. So it's really a lot of different opportunities. I had a student about a year ago who thought she wanted to do cybersecurity. And I will say we also have the opportunity to develop skills in that. There, you can minor in security and risk analysis, which offers you experience in learning more about cybersecurity. She thought she wanted to do that. She went into an internship at a cybersecurity firm and realized she hated it. She just hated it. She just didn't like that work at all. But that was great because then she knew that, that was something that she wasn't going to pursue further. So the important thing is to try to figure out something that you get a little taste of something that can give you that experience.
Awesome, thank you. I'm gonna just take a quick moment to let you know we do have a number of questions that are related to admissions, financial aid, scholarships. My colleagues are gonna put some of those links to those specific offices that can answer those questions in our chat. That is not necessarily the focus of what we're doing here tonight, but we will try to get to some of those answers if we have time. Dr. Johnson, someone did ask if you can provide a difference between the BA and the BS and which is more rigorous. And I think also Dr. Murphy might be able to answer that for hers as well.
Okay, so in terms of rigor, I would say that there's no difference in terms of rigor between the two. It really boils down to what you like to do and what your interests are. If you are very passionate about sciences, and so you think that at some point you're going to integrate psychology and sciences, then that would be an excellent option for you. Because again, for the Bachelor of Science, you have to do at least 18 credits of extra science courses in order to complete that degree. The other option for a BS is business. So if you are someone who is very interested in business and in psychology, so how organizations work, how about training employees? How about adjusting to working from home? And how do you manage productivity in your employees working from home? it would be natural for you to want to take the 18 extra credits in business classes. Whereas someone who is really just more interested, in learning about psychology, really sort of focusing on more of the liberal arts, general education courses, and the languages, a Bachelor of Arts degree is more appropriate for them. So the BA/BS is really is about what you're interested in, and it's about tailoring the degree to your interests, which I think is that should be the theme of our talk, is how to make your college degree fit you, and that's what Penn State Berks is really all about. So that's just a very simple comparison between the BA and the BS, but there's no difference in terms of rigor if you're following what you're passionate about and what you're interested in learning.
Yeah, I'll just add to that exactly what Dr. Johnson said. And the core curriculum for criminal justice is identical, whether or not you do the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science. All of the core criminal justice related courses are the same for those two different options.
Awesome, thank you. I do have a question specifically for our students, and I would love to get them more involved in answering questions. So the question is, students, what is something you wish you knew about Penn State Berks that would have helped you decide? So maybe something that you know now that you're really grateful for, or something that you would have known in advance of your decision. I'm sorry, let's see. I'll go Sal and then Ashton and then Esther. My apologies.
You're fine. I just didn't want to assume.
Nope. Thanks, Sal.
But I think one thing that would have helped me really decide was knowing the community and the resources at Penn State Berks. Because one thing I was hesitant about when I came to Penn State Berks was I thought, oh, it's a satellite campus. It's not Penn State University Park. But we still have all the same resources available to students at University Park. If anything, I feel like I'm more likely to take advantage of them because I know the people offering them. I know when I walk down the hall of our Perkins building, I know people in those offices and they know me. So it makes it a lot easier for me to reach out and ask for help, or also for them to notice, oh, this student's struggling, maybe I should reach out and offer them help. So I think that definitely is a deciding factor, just knowing like it is a small campus, but we still have all the big name benefits.
I love that answer. Thanks, Sal. Ashton.
So I think that Sal really hit the nail on the head with that one. I would agree that even though we have a small campus, it is still Penn State. We still kind of get all of the benefits from having a Penn State name with us. And in my opinion, we get even more, whereas Penn State Maine is just so large that you don't get as much one-on-one time with the professors, and you don't have as much opportunity to go up to a professor and ask them about what they do. And even if you do, it's a little more nerve-wracking, seeing as there's so much more going on at Penn State Maine than there is here. So I think especially like regarding professors, like not even the social life and like your peers, the professors specifically, you just have such a better relationship and connection with the professors, and they're really the ones that are going to help push you and get you to where you want to be academically. So I agree completely with Sal.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Ashton. And Esther.
Yeah, so again, I think Sal hit that very well, but I think for me, it was more so the clubs and how much they connect with each other, and like with Penn State, like the whole thon, and I was part of Latinos United, so able to go do like volunteer work with the Reading High School, I think that was a huge factor, just how connected the clubs and the faculty and the way it interconnects with the classes. That was a big factor for me.
Awesome, thank you so much. Dr. Johnson, is there a pathway program from Bachelor in Psychology straight to doctorate school?
Not to my knowledge. I don't believe that exists in the country. There do exist some programs that are bachelor's degrees and master's degrees that are combined. So it's a 5-year program. You do have to be accepted to begin with to get into those programs. We do not have that at Berks. I do believe, though, that Harrisburg, Penn State Harrisburg has a program similar to that. But in terms of a doctorate, no. So the doctorates, especially the APA approved doctoral programs, which is what you would look for. And if you're interested, go to the American Psychological Association's website. They have a whole database of accredited programs in clinical psychology. Those are things that you would work on applying while you're an undergrad and apply to start right after you finish. This is why connection with faculty is so important. If you are planning to go on for a master's degree, go on for especially a doctorate degree, you must have not only community-based experience, but research experience on your resume in order to get noticed by those people. There's also a lot that goes into the application, taking the acceptance test to get in, plus, you know, your GPA and letters of recommendation from faculty. So again, this goes back to the idea of having relationships with not just one faculty member, but multiple faculty members that will be able to help you in this path every step of the way. We also, again, I want to say again about how wonderful our career services department is. We have someone who comes into classes that talks our students through this process, and then of course is available for individual appointments. You know, for students to sit down and go over, like Sal is going to go to law school or planning to go to law school, which is amazing. So sitting down with him to talk to him about, you know, what do you have to do to get accepted to law school? And so, you know, she does the exact same thing for our students in psych and in RHS. So there's a lot that goes into it, and faculty, you know, and your experiences is what matters there in terms of getting accepted to graduate school.
Well, I appreciate that. And we are just about out of time. I can't believe that it has happened so quickly that we've gotten through this hour. And I'm going to ask our faculty if you would be so kind as to pop your email address into our chat, because there are a number of questions that we weren't able to get to. So that way our participants today can reach out to you directly to hopefully get some answers. I again want to thank all of you for attending, faculty, and to our students that came to share your expertise. I am very proud to be associated with all of you and to know that you're getting such a great experience. I am feeling majorly prepared myself after learning and hearing from all of you today. So I appreciate that. A special thank you to all of our guests that joined us today for clicking into our Majorly Prepared series. As you leave our webinar, you'll be receiving access to a survey, and we do appreciate you taking the few minutes that it takes to let us know what you thought about the chat and perhaps any other ideas that you might have to share. You can see here on our slide that we do have a number of other chats coming up. Friday the 5th, next Friday, is our second in the Majorly Prepared series, and that is a chat about biology. And I know some of you did ask about biology a little bit earlier. So be sure to come back soon and meet with other faculty, staff, and students to learn about our exciting majors and all of the experiences that you can have and when you're a part of our family and our community here at Penn State Berks. So until the next time, stay safe and sound, everybody that have joined us today. And signing off until next time, this has been Penn State Berks LionSide Chats, Majorly Prepared. Thank you and good night. Thank you, panelists. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Sal.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great to have you guys here. It really, really was.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Nice job.
Thank you so much for all your help.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good job.
Good night.